Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Rowe. We're looking at intermediate algebra, part B. This is lesson 15. We're focusing on number 8. This is the exponential function. So this is what you're asked to do right here. You're asked to graph this function, f of x equals 2x, 2 to the x power plus 3. Find the domain, the range, the intercepts, and determine whether or not it's an increasing or decreasing function. So let's take a look at what we have to do in a similar example. So here is f of x equals 3x plus 2. Again, I'm going to use my graphing calculator. If you don't have a graphing calculator, I still strongly suggest that you get one. You can also find one online. I can give you some directions, but you really need that handheld one. That's the only thing you'll be allowed to use on the EOC. So I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to type in this function just like this. I'm going to go to 3, and I'm going to use this caret button right here to the x power, and then plus 3. And I'm going to hit graph. You see what we have here. We have a graph that kind of hugs one little line here, looks like, and then it increases. So I already know that it's an increasing function, so we'll talk about that in just a second. But how do we graph it? So let's go second graph to find the table. And notice what happens. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. It gets close to 3, but guess what? It's never really going to get to 3. It's just that the numbers are so small here, it says it's at 3, but it never really gets to 3. So I'm going to put in some points here. I'm going to start off with 0, 4. So 0, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, let's look. If you notice, if I go back to -1, I get to like 3 1/3. So like right here. And that's about the only point I'm going to be able to plot that way. The rest of them are just going to get close to that line and never actually touch it. Let's go the opposite direction. This is why it's important to have that graphing calculator so you can see all this. So we go 1, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's see if we can fit one more in there. 212 is going to go off my graph, so it kind of goes up this way. So that's the points I can graph. So let's draw the function. So again, it's going to hug this line right here. It's never really going to touch it. And then it's going to shoot up like that. So what's the domain? Well, let's take a look. It'll keep going this direction, and it'll keep going this direction forever. So the domain, since it's continuous in both directions, will be all real numbers. So what's the range? Well, if we take a look at the graph, and if we look in the calculator, it says it gets to 3. But it never goes anywhere else. So that means the range will be all values of y, and this is important, that are greater than 3. So that means it can never be 3, but it can be close to 3, and it's all values that are greater than that. What's the intercepts? The intercepts is where the graph crosses either x or y axis. Well, this only crosses the y axis at this point. And that point is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the intercept that we have is 0, 4. And the last question is this an increasing or a decreasing function? Well, if you look from left to right, as you go from left to right, it shoots up. So this is an increasing function. So I hope this helps you with the exponential function. Make sure you show all of these parts, the domain, range, intercept, and whether or not it's increasing or decreasing. If you're still struggling to get it done, please set up a help session or let me know in a teacher message.